Hi everyone, welcome back to the Strawberry Lily channel. Today I am trying out and reviewing one of the newest collections from Kate Tokyo. So this collection is called, if you look at the lettering up here, Tokyo夜喫茶, which means Tokyo Night Cafe, Goku Matto Collection. So like super matte, ultra matte collection. As you can see, it's like a very sexy, understated cafe latte matte type of theme. The makeup components themselves are also very sleek looking, very compact. The texture is actually pretty smooth, so it's not like that rubberized matte texture that you see a lot of other matte formulated makeup being packaged in. But yeah, I for one am really liking the whole concept. I like the simplicity and the sleekness of everything, and if you look closely, it's actually not exactly black, it's more like a dark gray color. It kind of matches my dress that I have on today that you can't see, but yeah, like smoky, matte, grown-up vibes over here. Now this whole collection was actually released back in March, so I'm a little bit late to the party, but I don't know, in some sense maybe you could say I'm right on time because it is already available on YesStyle, I see. Sometimes it works out that way, like if I were to review a lot of the Japanese drugstore collections that come out exactly when they release in Japan, there's always going to be a delay anyway before it becomes available on YesStyle or any of those other export websites. So yeah, I guess we could say that I'm just on time. Although before you run to YesStyle to make your purchase, I think you should watch this review because it might not be exactly what you're expecting. So this collection has several parts to it. First of all, they have 6 shades of the matte latte liquid shadow, of which I purchased all 6. Then there is the latte art matte cheek, which are these compacts right here, and as you can see in the swatch footage that I'm going to put up, the design on the pans is mimicking like the latte art that you would find in your coffee order. And not to mention the artwork on the boxes as well. They have this really cute whimsical like coffee sketch on here. I wish it wasn't covered by this ugly sticker, but that's just the tracker thing for the drugstore. So yeah, there's 2 latte art matte cheeks. I did not purchase the Kate Matte Floating Mascara. You guys know I'm not a mascara girl. I only use the My Lash Opera mascara. And then they released 4 colors of the Steam Matte Nude Lip formula, of which I purchased 2. So I only purchased the 2 pinky toned ones, EX1 and EX2. The other ones are more like beigey brown, which I'm just not that into these days, so yeah. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get started with applying some of the matte latte liquid shadows onto my lids. I'm going to basically I'll do like 2 of the pinker shades on my left eye and then 2 of the more beigey brown shades on my right eye. So I'm going to use EX2 White Pink and EX3 Coral Beige and just layer those into a gradation on my left eye. You have to work kind of fast before it dries down because it is a matte formula. So the plus side to that is that it definitely sticks onto your lid really sturdily, but you also have to kind of work quickly and be careful where you place it because it's not the most forgiving formula when it comes to blendability. So that was the sharp difference that I noticed right away between when I was doing my hand swatches and applying it onto my lids. I've been playing around for the last week with these eyeshadows, by the way, so that's how I kind of know by now. But yeah, I would say that just judging by the way that they swatched on my hand, I imagined that this would be a lot easier to apply on the lid, like a lot smoother and glidier. And that's not exactly the case. So you see it looks really nice, like it's matte without looking dry or crackly or anything, but it's just not quite as easy as you would expect to apply. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so now on this eye we're going to do some of the more corally colors. I'm gonna start off with EX4 Orange Beige. Ooh, that is bright. That is popping out against my skin a lot more than the pinks. So I'm using like really cheap brushes that I don't care about to blend these out, by the way, because I'm actually low-key scared that they could ruin my good brushes if I use them. I plan to wash these right after application, so hopefully it won't do too much damage, but just because the formula is so like thick and on the harder side, it doesn't want to spread. Just be careful, like maybe don't use your expensive brushes. It could potentially ruin them. Okay, and then I'm going to define with EX6 orange brown. So we have orange beige and this one is orange brown. Okay, that's what the two sides look like. The pink side is like really light and natural. I feel like the pink side is more flattering. Before I even do eyeliner and lashes and all of that, let me apply these blushes using my newest favorite blush application technique that I'm obsessed with. So I'm gonna use RS1, Rose 1 on the pink side. This blush, I've been using it for about a week now too. It is very powdery. Like you can see there's a lot of kick up, which is good in terms of like pigmentation. So I'm gonna do the technique where I draw the oval in this area and overlap the outer edge of my eyelid. So yeah, I actually like that the blush is kind of loosely pressed because that kind of ensures that there is going to be color payoff. It's not going to be like, the intensity of the color is very subtle because I think you can just tell by the pan that, you know, there's a lot of beige here. The style of this blush is definitely not supposed to be like the most colorful or anything, but you can see it's a very even, nice wash of pigmentation. And yeah, I like applying it in this area to make my face look smaller and more lifted, basically. So that is the rose side. You can barely see it. Yeah, it's very subtle. It's not really meant to add that much color, so to speak. It's more like adding warmth, adding a warm glow to your skin is how I can best describe it. And then on the other side, we will apply OR1, orange one. And let me find a clean blush brush. Okay, this one is a completely different shape, but do you see that kick up? This is very like powdery, which is good because that means the product picks up easily on the brush. Actually, a lot of Japanese drugstore blushes are pressed quite hard in the pan, so this is kind of a refreshing change to that. But yeah, just be careful if you're wearing like white or something. This powder is gonna get everywhere. Okay, I feel like you can't see the blush at all through the camera, but it's there. It's subtle, but it's there. If you're looking for a pigmented blush, skip these. I personally was just enamored with the packaging and the latte art design. But yeah, oh, you can kind of see it now. See, this one's pink and then this side is more corally. It just adds like kind of a milkiness to your complexion in this area, which makes sense because it's like supposed to be a milky cafe latte. Alright, I'm going to quickly finish up my eyes with eyeliner and lashes and stuff, and then I'll come back to try out the lipsticks. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and apply the Steam Matte Nude Lip. I have EX1 White Pink and EX2 Pink Beige, so I'll put the white pink one on my right side. Okay, and then Pink Beige. Why does it look like there's no difference? But, yeah, I think you can tell, like, the white pink is just marginally more cool toned, smokier, and this one has a tad bit more warmth to it. Very subtle difference though. Honestly, you know, the colors are cute, but this matte formulation is definitely nothing to write home about in my opinion. It's one of those mattes that still has a little bit of a glossy finish. Like, it's not going to give you that super dry, no shine whatsoever look. Yeah, and I feel like it emphasizes the lines in my lips. It was pilling a little bit too when I was first applying, but that could be my fault for not exfoliating my lips in a while. Okay, so my overall thoughts on this Kate Tokyo Night Cafe Super Matte collection. Let's go through each item one by one. So the matte liquid shadows, I think these are fine if you're just looking for that one swipe and done, on the go 5-minute makeup type of item. And if you have like oily lids or something, or if you live in a climate where it's really humid and hot, like for me, I know I'm gearing up for Tokyo summer right now, so having this matte liquid formula really makes me feel safe. I know that it's going to just stay on there and not melt off, not move around on my lid. That being said though, I will say I was expecting it to be slightly easier to apply. I found that it just took a little bit of finessing to really spread the formula out. It's just kind of like a harder texture than I expected. But then, like I said, once you're able to blend it out to the extent that you want, and after it dries down on your lids, you can trust that it's gonna stay that way for the rest of the day. So that's good, and there's like hardly any creasing as well. I will say that the 6 shades that they have available, they're not exactly, in my opinion, like buildable or pairable with each other. Like I tried to do the 2 pinks on my left eye and 2 of the corally browns on my right eye, but as you can see, it turned out not being, like I thought I could use the shades to complement each other. Like with the 2 pinks, one of them would be darker and therefore give me the like the definition and the shadowy gradient that I wanted. But I feel like if you look at the finished look, that's not really the case. Like the eyeshadows don't really, the shades don't really complement each other like that. I think you're better off just looking at each one as a separate shade, and then if you're thinking of picking any up, just think of it as every shade is made for a 1 shade type of eyeshadow look, if that makes sense. And then as for the Latte Art Matte Cheek, these might be my favorite items out of the entire collection. It's a shame that you really can't see the colors show up on camera because it is, the effect really is so subtle. But I do really love, like in real life, the milky effect that it has on my cheeks. It's just a nice, like barely there type of blush color. And I just have to say, from a marketing perspective, this one, in my book at least, by my standards, this one succeeded across all categories, from the packaging to the design to the name. Latte Art Matte Cheek, and even the outer cardboard box, although it's covered by this ugly sticker, could stand to be a tad more pigmented in my opinion, but for what it's marketed as, I think it succeeds in its claims. And then for the Steam Matte Nude lipsticks, I think it's cute actually. Like at first I know I was kind of being like not impressed at first because it's not all that special as far as matte formulations go, but I really do like the smokiness, you could say, of these 2 colors that I picked up at least. I like how it doesn't dry my lips out, probably because of the semi-shiny formula. It also gives my lips kind of a plumping, enlarged effect because I can kind of draw outside the lines with this formula. And yeah, it is super comfortable, I will give it that. Like it doesn't feel tight whatsoever. But I'm glad I only stuck with these 2 colors. I don't feel the need to pick up any other shades. Oh yeah, and I forgot to add about the matte liquid eyeshadows. Basically, if I didn't all of a sudden succumb to a impulse purchase fit in the store, which is kind of what this entire video is, if I was just like a regular person looking for that one go-to shade that I could use on a daily basis, I could definitely have just done with EX3 Coral Beige. That's what I have on the outer half of my left eye. Yeah, this is my favorite shade and probably the one that I'm going to reach for the most in my daily on-the-go makeup. Also, like before I tested these out on my actual lids, I thought that I could maybe use them as an eyeshadow primer or a base of sorts for if I wanted to layer on more like powder eyeshadow. But after discovering how these are actually not that easily spreadable on the lids and the fact that they dry down so quickly, yeah, I don't think they could be that successfully used as a substitute for an eyeshadow primer or concealer. So yeah, that is my review on the Kate Tokyo Night Cafe Super Matte Goku Matte collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!